One of the one of the first guys I ever saw to that like had a crowd was the man who's with me right now, Mr. Shaun Asher. Shaun, it's fight week. You're just coming home from the gym. Where have you been for the last year?
I've just been hanging out, doing family stuff, hanging out with my friends, just laying low for a little while.
No bullshitting. When you retired last January, in your heart, did you ever think that you were going to do it again?
No, I never thought to do it. I didn't really think I'd do it again.
You was the only one. You was the only one that thought that. You was the only one that thought that. And I said, man, give it 6 months. But you held out, man. You held strong for 12 months.
I mean, I really didn't think I don't know. It was just, I think I just had so much on the plate at one time. I had so much going on. Like, even like me and Eric just talked about this not long ago. He's like, I honestly didn't think he'd come back after so long. I was like, yeah. I said, I didn't either. And then I just kept coming to fights and stuff. You know how it is. You watch some fights, you're like, ah, damn. Then I just see all these people getting their shots, and I'm like, man, come on, let me get a shot. Something's got to give. So I'm just trying to see what happens.
It's I can remember. Let me look. Let me see when this was. So yeah, I can remember vividly May 7th, 2011, your last amateur fight. I'm sitting in the crowd up in Northern Kentucky, uh, and that was before I had the cage side access, so I was in the crowd, uh, and every some bitch in front of me had on these red Vision shirts that had Asher on the back. And now I didn't know who you were. I'd never heard of you. I mean, it was only the second event I'd ever been to, and then you come out, you win, the fucking place goes crazy. I'm like, gosh damn, who is this? And then things kind of took off from there when you went pro later in the year. What this is gonna sound stupid, but there's a lot of people that want to know, like, how do you draw that crowd? I mean, is it friends? Is it people from the gym? Is it just the people you run into over the years? How did you develop your fan base?
Man, I really don't know. I mean, I just know I'm just so social, you know what I mean? Like, anywhere I go, there's never not somewhere I go and I don't know nobody. You know what I mean? Like, I could go to Cumberland Lake tomorrow and it'd be 3 boats on the whole water and I'd know somebody down there. Guaranteed. I'm just so social. It's always, I know somebody knows somebody. So I'm like, it's always like, oh, you're Shaun Anderson? Yeah. You know, it's just always like that. I've always been like that, like a social butterfly, I guess you could say. I don't never go nowhere and not like talk to people or whatever. Like, a lot of people say I come off as a dick. Yeah, I know I am a dick, but whatever. I mean, once people get to know me or whatever, I'm easy to like, man. I like to joke around, have fun, just like everybody else.
When did you know, like, you had a following? Like, when could you tell that, hey, people are gonna pay money to come see me do this shit?
Um, I don't know. Probably like after I don't know. Probably my first amateur fight. Honestly, when I fought Kyle Ayers, I never really thought that many people would come just watch some people fight in the cage or whatever. But I vividly remember it. It was like everybody on one side was screaming Asher, everybody on the other side was screaming Ayers. It was off the hook.
For your debut, I mean, that's gotta like give you high hopes for what's to come.
Oh, definitely. Especially when you see that dude getting in the ring, you're about to fight, you're like, oh man. And then you get that win, it's just crazy. I mean, it's addicting after that, you know. People love it. People be calling my mom's phone, like, when Shaun come back to fight with this, blah, blah, blah. I mean, it was crazy. She couldn't go to, like, the convenience stores, gas stations, nothing. Like, they would just be always somebody's like, man, we need him to come back. Like, I mean, I'm living in a small town now, so, I mean, it's really small. People are like, they don't have nothing else, really, you know what I mean? So, I think that's another part why I draw a big crowd, because, I mean, there's not nothing else for them to do. So when they know that they have somebody from their town fight, they want to come show their support.
It's funny, how things change in a short amount of time. When I first started on the scene, you were with Vision MMA, and Vision MMA rolled a crowd like none other. And even in the walkouts, there'd be 20, 25 guys rolling deep. Everybody seemed to have parted ways since then. It's not. I mean, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. It's just the evolution of growing up, I guess. But what was that like for you as people started leaving, and you eventually left, and we see like Daniel Strauss has had some success, Victor O'Donnell had some success, but that core group that was Vision MMA just isn't anymore.
And that was a big part of it for me. I mean, it was a good like little family thing, you know what I mean? Like everybody's pretty tight. We'd all hang out or whatnot, always text and all, whatever. Then it just kind of started falling off the map, you know what I mean? Like you get to the gym, there'd be 2 and 3, 4 people there instead of 20 and 30 people there training. So, I mean, that's a big part of it. You gotta go where you can get some training in. You can't just go somewhere and train with 2 people or whatever. You gotta have some training partners.
It's been fun to watch this ride that you've been on, because it's taken you to Bellator, took you to the Ultimate Fighter tryouts, and those are really the only 2 things that you've come up short as a professional. Like, right. Is that part of why you're coming back? Is like you've got unfinished business?
I mean, them 2 things. I mean, there never don't go a day that I don't think about it every day. I mean, especially the Bellator thing, just like me and Brian actually talking about tonight. I think more I went into Bellator fight Butcher as I went into fight not to lose, I guess you could say. I didn't go in thinking that I was going to win. Like, I really don't know how to explain it. Like, I remember doing an interview with you actually, and I was like, look, one of us going to lose, one of us going to win. Man, you don't never hear me say that shit. Like, I'm coming to whip his ass. That's how it's going down. But, I mean, I came up short, nothing against Butcher. He's a great fighter. And then the Ultimate Fighter thing, as far as I knew, leaving Vegas, I was on the show. That's what I was led to believe the whole time. And then, for whatever reason, they decided to go with other people.
I ain't want to gossip, but I heard it had something to do with your knee. Is that not? Did they not tell you what it was for?
I never got a reason for what. I mean, rumors. One of the rumors I heard was they didn't think that nobody should be in the Ultimate Fighter that lost the first round of Bellator. I don't know. I mean, I really didn't have a clue. They called me the day I was on a cruise to Mexico. They called me the day we were leaving, said that I wasn't selected. I just partied out the rock star in Mexico.
And that's the crazy part is, and I'm not taking anything away, from season 19. But like I felt that like you could have won that motherfucker easily. With the guys, I mean, look at Eddie Gordon, look at guys like Dan Spawn, good fighters, but I always felt like you matched up well with every one of those guys.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. Every show I watched, I couldn't finish watching. I'd be so pissed off. Like, I would have to lay their notes down. Like, I would be in tears watching a TV show. Like, is this fucking serious? Like, I'm still the same way you do. Like, I feel like I matched up really well with a lot of guys. But for whatever reason, I mean, it just didn't work out. That's why I just hope to God maybe this can work out. Let me get on the undercard and just show what I got or whatnot.
In the meantime, you're kind of relegated, and I'm not trying to say it in a bad way, but to the regional scene where you have just been so dominant. Do you get bored? I mean, I don't want like your past opponents to listen to this and be like, he's dissing me, but Robert Bennett finished him with the quickness. Your retirement fight, that guy didn't have much for you. John Cook didn't have much for you. That was probably one of the better fights. Doug Sparks, who actually made it to where he could fight to get on to the show,
right.
Really didn't have nothing for you. Is it hard to get excited? Like today we're recording this on Monday. You fight on Saturday. Is it hard to get excited for Kelly Pennington, knowing that the odds are probably like you're probably like minus 1,200 right now? If this was Vegas.
Definitely not this time. I mean, I'm really excited. Like, I've been excited for weeks. Like, I know I say this every fight. Like, this is the best I've ever been. But you're gonna shit. This is legitimately the best that I have ever been. Hands down, the best I have ever been. I've peaked. Like right now, I'm so peaked out. Like I'm just. We could do it right now. I don't give a shit. I need that Turf Wars. Let's fight. I mean, I'm ready right now. I'm just excited. I'm excited for everybody to be there. Like, there's a lot of people this time that's coming that's never been before. Like, I got little kids coming that like have never seen me fight, and they're so excited. So that gets me excited, and I can't wait.
That's because you started like a youth MMA program.
Right.
You know what? Where did that come from? I know a lot of people look up to you. Not only kids, but a lot of fellow fighters, people that aren't fighters look up to you and kind of how you handle your business. But what gave you the motivation to try to give something back and do it for the kids? Because you do it for free, right?
But we was going to do that free first, but now we're actually have to pay rent on the building, so we had to charge. I mean, we just charging $25, so that way everybody can afford it. But if they have problems with money or whatever, we can work around it, work something out. But I mean, there's like I said, I come from a small community out here in Adams County. I mean, there's nothing. People don't realize that. I mean, literally, there is not shit for them to do, and like they're trying to take away some of their Pee Wee programs right now. Like they're trying to do away with their basketball and stuff like that, just because. I mean, the people out here. I mean, it's a different world. People don't realize it. I mean, you go to the city and there's stuff for the kids to do all the time. Out here, there's just absolutely nothing for them to do, period. Nothing. And I want to make it a good environment for everybody. Like, people think it's all about being a gladiator or whatnot. I mean, yeah, you're a gladiator, but these kids are learning respect. I got some of the best little kids in there in the world. I wouldn't change it for nothing. I just want to keep making it grow and grow. Right now, our attendance is a little down because of Pee Wee basketball, actually. But after March, I think that the program is just going to take off and it's going to be crazy.
That on the same token as these kids have nothing to do, there's nothing really close for you either. People don't know you gotta travel to go train.
Yeah, I mean, I drive an hour and 15 minutes one way. It's not. I mean, it's not easy. People don't realize that. I mean, it takes a lot of time, effort. I mean, it takes motivation, and sometimes just with that drive, it takes it out of.
You ever get halfway there and like, hell, I'm just going home?
No, I've never ever started the trip and not went there. I know I got to put my time in, especially at the point I'm at right now in my career. I know that. I mean, this pretty much is do or die right here. I got to get it done, or else we're gonna hang it up for good.
When you think about making a run and being active, a lot of that is out of your control. How frustrating is that? Because you can say you want to fight every weekend, but somebody has to offer you a contract and give you an opponent. And let's be honest, with your record and the way that you beat people, there's not a huge line forming right now to say, hey, I want to fight Shaun Asher.
Right. I mean, just like you said, it's fucking frustrating, man. I mean, I had a couple people throw some fights up to me or whatnot, and they're like, would you be interested? And actually, one of them was 2 weeks after this fight. And I was like, hell yes, line it up, let's do it. He texted me back 10 minutes later, nah, man, neither one of my guys want it. I said, all right, I'll fight heavyweight. Line that up. Heavyweight. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to have to do now. Whether it be travel, whatever. I mean, we got to figure something out. That's all there is to it.
Would you go back to 185?
That's the initial goal, going back to 185. But right now, this is like at 220 right now, I'm pretty straight. Like, I've never been 220 with abs. I'm 220 with abs right now, so it's a little scary.
Because that's part of like Shaun Asher, though, is, I've always seen pictures of you in the weight room and like that bodybuilding fitness style. That's something that you've done even, outside of MMA. That's just something you've always kept going.
Right. I mean, I live in there. I got a gym 2 minutes from my house, and actually the owner of it, Mike Truitt, I mean, he pretty much like my dad. He'll go out or something to restaurants, and they'll be like, hey, we seen your son. And he's like, I don't even have a son. They're like, son. They just think that we're father and son. It's kind of funny. So And now, I mean, I got another trainer too that's been working with me, Susie Lucas. I mean, she's great. I go to her gym. We would go at it, and I mean, for a female, you guys wouldn't believe it. Like we go at it, like we'd be ready to fight each other. We're so competitive. It's hilarious.
It like when you have a trainer, it's different than MMA. You know, they're teaching you something, and in like the workout gym, it's a little different. They're still trying to teach you stuff, but they're trying. It's a lot of motivation that goes with it as well. Is it hard to take that from a woman?
Nah, it's easier. I think. Like she don't. I don't know. Like before, I think a lot of people kind of baby me, and like just pretty much let me get away with stuff. But with her, there ain't no baby in period. Like she's on it. She don't put up with the bullshit. Like I can't be like I'm tired of getting trained. It ain't happening. Like she's on. And I mean the same way with my other trainer, Mike Trude. I got her and him work back and forth and that. So he's on it too. I mean he's great too. But with them two together, it's crazy. Like he's 64 years old. This dude's shredded to death, abs up the side. And it's crazy. She's the same way. Like they're just fitness freaks, so they don't give me no like breaks. It's definitely not easy.
Something that I've always kind of looked up to in the MMA world has been Rod Housley, and that's a guy that I feel that you're probably pretty close with. How much is his advice and his guidance? And now, for a lot of your pro career, you've worked for him as an independent contractor, but you've worked for his promotion. What's your relationship like with Rod right now?
I mean, we were really tight, you know. Like I said, we've been over to Russia together and everything, so we've always had a pretty close relationship. I mean, the first time my mother ever met Rod, she's like, I really like this guy. I want you to stick with him or whatnot. And, you know, I take her advice for a lot of things. We're really tight. So, I mean, when she told me that she liked Rod and she trusted him, so I pretty much just listen to what he has to say or whatnot. We still stay really tight. Even when I was off for the year, we'd always text, call, whatever, joke around. He always jokes with me up to state dinners and blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, we're tight. I mean, me and Rod still get along very good.
Of course he was calling you, man. I mean, you're like the biggest ticket in 3 states. Like I've covered shows, you know, shows like Turf Wars all over the South. And I can only think of one other person that maybe comes close to you, and that's Adam Townsend down in Tennessee. But like nobody draws a crowd like you. Do you feel burdened by that, knowing that the promotion's got a lot riding on the show when you're on it because so many people are going to show up? You know, you got to go out there and perform for a lot of people. Some people can get up for that, and some people are like, I'd just rather nobody see me. What side of the fence are you on?
I mean, no, not really a burden, you know. Like, it's always your nerves or more anything. Like, when my music starts, I'm always like, shit, man, it's time now. And then once I get out there, like, I can't see nothing. Like, you just go into that tunnel vision, and I mean, usually I walk out second, so I can always just see him in the ring, and I'm like, here we go. But, I mean, I know people's going to come. They know what to expect. I mean, they know what they're going to get from me. I'm not going to go out and give 75%. I'm going to give them 110%. And, you know, I'm going to come out with a win most of the time, I hope. I mean, I like to say, but they know what they're coming to see, so it's fun. I love it, I guess I can say. I mean, I like pleasing everybody. I like going out afterwards and just hearing everybody talk about it. So it's a good time. I like being there.
It's, you know, you've been around for a long time, longer than I have on the scene, but in just a short amount of time these last few years, I feel like things have changed so much in MMA. And you've fought for a lot of different people. You trained with a lot of different people. You kind of see what the culture's like. And now, you know, we used to have a show like every weekend. Everybody was throwing MMA shows. And now it's like, in Kentucky at least, you know, there's 4 or 5 active promoters, you know. And so you've got all these fighters nowhere to go. What's changed? What have you seen that's changed just with regional MMA?
Well, I think it's so cutthroat, man. Like, people don't realize. You're just thinking, I mean, there's so many fighters. Everybody's just trying to get on a card somewhere. So, I mean, they can pick and choose pretty much, you know what I mean? So, say, for instance, not being cocky or nothing, but say I can sell 300 tickets, the other guy can sell 25. I mean, who are they going to take? So their only other problem then is finding an opponent. Well, most of the time it don't work out because they can't find an opponent, or else it's just a pay thing too. I mean, everybody wants to pay so different. Like I know what to expect from certain people, and then I know what to expect from other people. I mean, it's just everybody's a fighter now. You know what I mean? I mean, you go to the mall. Look, everybody got a tap out shirt on. Everybody got a fixing shirt on. They'd be like, "Hey, I see your ears. Where you train at?" I don't train. So I'm born like this. I mean, they train here or there, but I've never heard of them. So I don't know. People don't even train they get fights. It's just beyond me. I mean, it's crazy. I think people just like to be able to go to the bar on Saturday night and be like, yeah, I'm a fighter. I mean, if that gets you pussy, let it get you pussy, but this shit drives me crazy, man. Like, I can't actually just go out and enjoy myself most of the time because people see my ears and they're like, everybody want to come out and talk. I mean, so I can't, it's just, I don't know, it's just not really that fun to me anymore, so I just try to stay a little bit away from everybody.
With the UFC on every weekend, and everybody's a UFC fighter. I've so many like amateur guys. Like their profile says employed by the UFC and shit like that. It does get old. Is it like? And a man once told me, and I think you just kind of hit the nail on the head. That people fight for two reasons, and it's a little more in depth this, but he said they fight to get laid or they fight to get paid.
Yeah.
And then there's of course the competition side of it and the pride and just going through it and pushing yourself. That obviously is an aspect for a lot of people.
Right.
Like I feel like if we were sitting across the table right now, we're playing checkers, you would be a dick trying to beat me at checkers.
I promise you that. I cannot stand to lose or nothing. I mean, I don't care what it. I've been like that my whole life, since Pee Wee basketball, anything. I cannot fucking stand to lose. It is. You should see me coach Pee Wee basketball right now. I have kids. These kids are really good. I will rip their ass from the time the game starts to the time it's over with. I want to beat everybody by 15, 20 points. I don't care. And people get mad, but that's just how I am. I can't help it. That's how I was always raised. My grandfather was very competitive in everything we did. He beat me in checkers. I'd be pissed. We wouldn't talk. That's how bad it would be. Monopoly. I remember in the 6th grade, me and my best friend got in a fight at Monopoly because he tried to cheat $200. $200 in Monopoly. Like I hate it. And I mean, I don't anything like if we're out playing anything, it always turns into a gamble. We could be shooting jump shots. How many can you make? Well, how many can you make? I bet you 25. It's always like that with everybody. Like that's just my core group of friends. That's just how we are. We're really competitive, and I mean that's what really gives me the edge a lot of times. Like I'm so competitive, I couldn't like Sunday go somewhere to eat and people like, hey, how you do yesterday? I don't want to say fuck, I lost. I'm like, hey, I whipped his ass. Just go. Like I'll probably just I'll be back. I'll talk to you in a minute. Try to just go to the bathroom so he left. Like it's hard to take a loss, man.
But as a pro. I mean, do you count what happened over in Russia? Tell me that story. Cause it's so weird. You went over to Russia, and what I heard was like you got pushed through the rope. It was in a ring, and you got pushed through the ropes, and they called the fight. It's weird. Give me the legit lowdown on what happened when you went to Russia.
Well, like I said, it was in a ring, and I didn't even know that. Like I thought the whole time we was fighting in a cage. I didn't know we was fighting in a ring, and so we go over whatever. We get fight starts, touch gloves, blah, blah, blah. We both throw a leg kick or whatever. Then I go to shoot. Well, we fell against the ropes, and he kind of sat out into the ropes. Well, when he landed outside the ring, he landed on his feet somehow, like I was half hanging in between the two and half hanging out. And he just grabbed my hands and pulled me the rest of the way out. And my head hit, like they had no matting out there, so my head just hit real quick. It was like a flash knockout. Like I looked up and I could see everybody, but like I couldn't focus. I've never had that happen before. And they asked me if I want to keep fighting. I'm like, yeah, whatever. But I like couldn't see, you know what I mean? Like they put hands over to the side and I couldn't see them. I could only see straight ahead. It was different, that's for sure.
So this is like the Royal Rumble. Like they just pushed you out of the ring.
Pretty much. I mean, yeah. But then I thought that he was going to come over here and we were going to fight in a cage just to settle the score, but we could never get that settled up.
Would you ever go back over there and fight?
Yeah, but it had to be in a cage. The ring's not for me for sure.
Have you seen? I think it's M1. They put at the bottom of the ring like between the, I guess the mat and the first set of ropes, they put like a mesh, like a cage mesh there, so people can't slide out the bottom.
Oh, really? Yeah, I've never seen that. That would
Yeah,
definitely help that day.
yeah, because like you know, a fight that I think would be great would be something between like you and Julio Gallegos. He you know, he went over to Russia and kind of got the same deal. No, I've not known a lot of Americans that went over to Russia and had a good experience.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I had a bad experience at all, really. I mean, it was a good time. They showed us a very good time, treated us very well. I mean, people couldn't come within like 5 feet of us. Like, they would freak out. That's how tight our security was there. And, like, that, even driving down the road, the cars was not allowed close to us. They would run the cars off the road. It was definitely, like, you would feel like you're in the movie Taken. When we got in the car from the airport, they would only let 2 Americans in each car. And, like, we had, like, a big old line of cars, like, all the security around us. And, like, seriously, if a car tried to pass, they'd run them off the road. They wasn't kidding. Nobody got close.
Man, this is Shaun Obama in the car.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then, like, anytime they took somewhere, like, they came to pick me up, took me to the sauna. Me and Rod went to the sauna. This whole place was just packed with people. It was like massage parlor and all this stuff. They go in, they make us wait in the car. They go in and clear the whole place out so we can have it all to ourselves. Like, it's nuts over there.
That's crazy, man. That, you know, you talked about the problem. You here are the show, right? Like, Saturday night's gonna be a great card, but Shaun Asher's the show. I think everybody pretty much knows that. But say you want a big fight and you got to go to New York, or then I can't go to New York, New Jersey, or they want you to go to Colorado, something like that. You're not the show, you know, and it's they you become the opponent. Have you ever felt, other than maybe being in Russia, like you were the opponent, like, you know, not a nice crowd? Because in Bellator, it's still relatively close up there in Dayton.
Right.
You know, but you've always kind of been, even when we were in West Virginia, you were kind of the guy when you fought Blanchard. You know, you were still kind of that guy. How do you think you would handle that? Not having 250, 300 people there, and not being anywhere close to home, and kind of being taken out of your comfort zone.
I don't know. I think that maybe I would loosen up some. You know what I mean? Like, I think that maybe then I would try things that maybe I wouldn't try at home. Like, I wouldn't be so conservative. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't be so uptight, like, to lose maybe, because then I wouldn't have to, like, face everybody afterwards. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm just, like, that's one of my main things. Like, everybody's coming out to see me win. You know, I want to please everybody. And I think maybe if I went away to fight, like, maybe I could just step out of my comfort zone, and you might see some other things that I don't do usually in a fight.
The things that you do, though, you do better than 98% of the fighters, you know, period. Even in the UFC, you're very effective, and you know, what you do is you swarm people, you smother them, and then you just beat the shit out of them, you know. I mean, is that the kind of fighter you think you'll always be? I mean, if somebody was to ask me, you know, do you see Shaun Asher knocking somebody out on the feet, I would say probably not. I could see him, you know, dropping an elbow, knocking them out, or ground and pound, knocking them out. But on the feet, I just wouldn't see that. And that's not a knock on your striking, but that's not what you're strong at. Do you ever think about maybe going somewhere to sharpen that up, or just, you know, as everybody says, you're going to do you and do what you do best?
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's in, like, there's some things going on right now that I'm really not adapt to say right now, because I mean, it's pretty big stuff. I want to wait and just make sure everything weathers out. But I mean, yeah, that's always in my mind right now. I'm working, talking to some people, and might change some things up, definitely. I mean, I always need to sharpen some stuff up. But, like, I don't think people realize that I'm just so athletic is what they don't realize. Like, I can do it all, but I don't know. I see shots, and I just see takedowns so much quicker than everything else, and like, it's just always there, so I just go for it. Like, I don't want to waste no time and then not get another shot, take somebody down or whatever. But yeah, like you were saying, like, I need to sharpen some things up, and there's some talk going on about some certain things. So I just kind of leave it at that for right now.
could you walk away satisfied if you never fight in UFC?
Yes and no. I mean, it's up to them now. I mean, what more can I do? Is the way I think of it right now. But I just think that they're missing out on, like you said, like I might have to go somewhere where it'd be different, hostile territory. But I think what people don't realize, I guarantee you, I could go to Colorado, California, Vegas, Florida, and I'm still selling 100 tickets. I guarantee it.
I believe that, man. Like the people that like your true group will always be there, and some people's are bigger than other people's. You know, that core group of people
Right.
and fans. And I think you're right, man. You've got that core group that will go, fuck, I'd go. I'd go see Shaun Asher fight. Shit, I've seen you fight all. You know, went to Huntington, West Virginia for that cluster bomb of a event. That was fun. I mean, don't you miss Terry Callahan? I don't know if he'll ever listen to this, but like,
I do a lot. Like I miss Terry a lot. He treated me well always. And, I mean, I ain't got nothing bad to say about him. I liked the show. I thought Huntington was a really good show.
The show was great, dealing with the commission and all that. I always felt like Spartan was ahead of their time a little bit, or they came in too late. One of the two, you know, because you know, and you can attest to this. No pro fighter was getting paid more anywhere else around here than at Spartan. You know,
hell no.
You know, the shows he would have would be packed. You go to the Armory in Ashland, especially a Jason Butcher fight or God rest his soul, Cornelius Godfrey, you couldn't breathe, and it was you know, it was just a different kind of experience, but it never translated into like big money profits for him, and right. I think that's a shame, you know, because obviously he can't do it again. You know, he can't do it right now financially. And I don't know, honestly, if he ever want to do it again, just with the experience that he had. But the guys like that, man, you know, like when we put this craziness to bed at some point in our life, you'd be like, man, you know, those are the people. And I still talk to Terry, but like that's the part that people don't understand that you can't really put into words. Is like, you know, I go all over the place. I watch some super shitty mixed martial arts, like some really shitty fights. But it's not about that. It's about like the people that you're there with. You know, like going to a turf war show and seeing you there and catching up, or going to watch you fight, or, you know, seeing Gary Copeland and Todd Neal and just like that crew. That's a feeling. That's a family atmosphere that you really can't explain to people that aren't in that mix, that are fans. You know,
right?
It's hard for me to get away with. It's the same way for you, because, you know, you've got your core group. And then when you go to the fight, you see the same people, and it's like, you know, every for me, every couple of weeks, it's like, this is my home away from home. And for you, especially being in the cage, it's got to be like that home away from home feeling.
Oh, definitely. I mean, I love going to the fight scene, everybody just catching up, you know, sitting around BS a little bit or whatnot. So, I mean, it's definitely a home away from home for me.
Yeah, how many times? The last time I saw you, I guess it was at the last Turf Wars. Or maybe the one before that. I think it was the one before the last one they just had. You were there. We were talking. You had hinted at coming back then. But how many times did people there say, "Hey man, when you gonna fight again? Hey man, when you gonna fight again?"
I couldn't count that many times.
Oh, that's the shit that drives me crazy. Like, just people just trying to be there, hanging out, and people like, man, when are you gonna do that again? When are you gonna get back in there?
People I didn't even know, people I never seen or nothing, just come up like, hey man, when are you gonna fight again? I'm gonna see you slam some people, blah blah. I'm like, I'm done, man. So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, in the back of your head, you're like, man, shit, I'm probably next year, boys.
I mean, I honestly didn't know. People think that I just wanted to put it off for a while. I didn't think that I would fight again. I'm serious. Like I was just in over my head. There was just so much. I mean, I was running them off, and I was just tired. This sport takes a toll on you. People don't realize it. And then you got to add in work. You got to add in your fucking limited family time that you do get. I mean, I was just wore out. I was mentally and physically just drained.
Are you
But
prepared to make a run like that in 2015, knowing that if that's what it takes, you're going to have to do that, and be out there and those long nights, those early mornings, one last time?
yes, let me put it like this: I have a very, very good job, is what people don't realize. I mean, I make very good money, but right now, today, I would call my boss and tell him I quit if that's what it takes. I would fight every fucking weekend if that's what it takes. It does not matter right now. Like, this is it. This is truly the last time. Like, this is going to be my last run. If this shit doesn't work out, then, I mean, it just didn't work out for whatever reason. But I want to know in my heart that I gave it everything I had, and for whatever reason that this promotion or that promotion didn't either like the way I fight or whatnot. I mean, I want to know that I gave it my all. That way, at least I can say, like, when people ask, like, why aren't you fighting them? I'll be like, well, just they didn't want me. So sometimes you just got to know when to fold them, I guess.
Do you feel 35? I mean, has age caught up with you at all?
I feel about 21. This is the best. I'm feeling really, really good right now. Like, I've never felt, like, I don't even realize that I'm 35, I guess, sometimes. Like, people are like, how old are you? And I gotta sit and think, like, well, fuck, what year is this? Like, yeah, I definitely don't feel 35.
Shit, you look 35.
I'm ready to go. Like, I just want to do this, and I know I can get this to go. Something's got to give sooner or later. I know there's listening out there, UFC, Bellator, somebody call me, M1 Global, FC, whatever. It doesn't matter. Somebody call. Let's do this. Let's make it happen.
What the shitty part of it for a lot of promotions, like, I talk with guys at the RFA, and like, if there's a spot to go that's going to get you in the UFC, that's the place to go. And
right.
they ain't, I think they're doing away with their heavyweight and their light heavyweight division just because there's not that many guys. There's a lot of guys and not that many super talented guys that aren't already in the UFC.
Right.
And it's a shame, man, because it's like those chances are getting cut by each and every promotion that can't find an opponent or don't want to go with the hassle of building that division. I think that's bullshit, man. It's hard, and you can't fault them, because that's the business model they're going for. I mean, hell, you can pluck a 135er or a 145er pretty much out of any gym anywhere, and they can be successful. But it's hard to find somebody with some size that can be successful and like have a following, a la Shaun Asher.
I mean, you're preaching all the right things right now. I mean, I don't know. Like, that's why I sit and think, like, what do I got to do? What weight do I need to be at? I mean, fuck, I don't know. Like, it's just, everything is just so up in the air right now. Like, I'll torture my body to make whatever weight. Just fucking call me and give me the chance. I don't give a shit what I got to do. I'll lay in that fucking sauna for days. Just call me. That's I just want a chance to prove myself one time.
But you made 85 pretty easy, right?
Yeah. I just dieted clean for that, and it worked out. Like, I had enough notice that I could diet clean, you know what I mean? Like, some people don't realize sometimes you have to take fights on, like, 2 weeks notice to get that big chance, and that's why I want to stay in shape, not let myself balloon back up and get it big. Like, I want to be ready. Like, say that they do call, and they're like, hey, we got this 185 fight. Well, fuck it. I'm 210. Let's do it. That's fine. Like, I don't want to be in the predicament to be like, have to turn it down just because of being too heavy or whatever. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm definitely gonna stay in shape, and I just try to get this chance this time.
I'm not gonna keep you much longer, man. I know you're on your way home from the gym, but for promotional value here, you've got some shirts that you got for sale, and I'm sure you got some tickets. So people hit you up on Facebook or whatever to try to get those.
Facebook, Twitter, whatever. You
ain't posting on Instagram lately. What's going on?
I've been so busy, man. It's been hecticer than you think. Like, like I said, I'm coaching Pee Wee, then I'm trying to train, and I got my kids' MMA classes, and I'm personal training. I'm just so busy right now. I really ain't got time to post on Instagram.
And then your real job.
Definitely be posting. Don't worry.
That's what I'm looking forward to. Well, the fight is Saturday, January 24th at Turf Wars. I thought it was going to be outside. I've been told it's going to be inside. So if that was even a question, there's no reason to get there. I got to be there. Shaun threatened to take my arm off if I'm not there, so I'm going to be there. The whole Bluegrass MMA crew is going to be there, like we always do it. Shaun, anything you want to throw out there before I cut you loose?
No, man, I just want to thank everybody that's been along in this ride with me. I mean, it's been a long, fucked up ride, for sure. I mean, definitely had our ups and downs in this. And, I mean, as far as you guys, I want to thank you guys. You're always there for me. Always putting good words in for me. I want to thank all my sponsors, thank all my family and friends. I mean, I think most of all, I want to thank my mom and my son this time. They definitely have to go through the most of anybody. Like, they have to see the weight cut. They see the frustration. They see the tears and everything that I go through. And then, of course, I want to thank my team, Alliance MMA. I mean, without them guys, I definitely wouldn't have been able to make a return. Brian, Eric, we got our younger guy, Clay, fighting this time. I mean, it's a big thing coming from us.
Big fight Saturday night. We will be there. Shaun, take care, my man.
Thank you.
Love you. I'll talk to you again soon.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Gary.